Welcome to Unit 6, Week 5. Spelling. All right, so remember we're doing this. So this is our last week, and I hope that as we've gone through these spelling lessons, you've kind of realized how spelling actually works. Memorizing words doesn't really help much, but learning kind of the patterns and why we do things and why we have words the way we do, having those can help you be a better reader, better writer, and a better speller. And so that's why we do these things. All right, so let's get to going. Here we go. You ready? All right. Make sure you have your pencil. Make sure you have your scissors ready to go to cut out your words. Make sure your words are cut out. Your zip tie bag so you can put your words in. See how that opens up? And then it zips shut. See how that works? All right. Spelling book and your spelling words. All right, so it looks like this week we're doing ible and able. And these are interesting words. Let's get these all cut out. These are interesting words, or suffixes. Remember, a suffix comes at the end of a word. Prefix comes at the beginning. And the easy way to remember that is pre is actually a prefix. And suff, F-U-F, is not. So suffix comes at the end, prefix comes at the beginning. We are doing suffixes today. And it's able and ible. And now we have such an interesting language, I got to tell you. I'm going to put this in front, so I've got this right up here. Ible and able. We actually are interesting as we speak. Because the way this word should be is every time we see the ible, it should be ible. And if we say able, it should be able or able. And so we just kind of make up kind of how we want to say words sometimes. And so the easiest way to do this, I guess you could say, the best way for you to remember how these words are spelled is to say them correctly. And if we say them correctly, the way they are spelled, then it'll be easier for you to spell them when you need to. So, you see what I'm doing here? I'm putting these all around the outside, Buffalo Girls go around the outside. And I have no idea who the Buffalo Girls are, but song I used to listen to when I was younger. It was about a billion years ago. All right, so we got these, and then we're going to write some things out here. So, oh yeah, now I can see everything. All right, so let's get this written. We're on Unit 6, Week 5, and we're going to do ible and able. Now you'll notice I'm going to put these dashes in front, and that means that it comes at the end of a word. So let's start right here and let's do ible, dash ible, underline, and then over here I'm going to do dash able, underline, and then of course we've got our oddball, the ones that do not fit. It's kind of like doing those old Sesame Street things where I used to sit in front of the TV and watch Sesame Street and go, which one of these is not like the other? So if they don't have ible or able, oddball. Got it? So let's start out with ible, all right? And there's a couple things I want you to know when we do these. And I'm going to give you a couple clues that might help you understand how to remember ible and able, all right? And they're not 100%ers, but they're pretty darn close to help you. And so if you use these rules that I'm going to tell you, they'll help you most of the time. There might be a couple words you might not get, but I think you'll be okay. Let's start out with ible and able means can be. Okay, can be. So when I say something like invisible, it can be invis, which is interesting. This is my first clue for you. Ible, when you write an ible, invis, Invis is not really a complete word. So this is actually something different. So when we put ible on this, it actually makes it so it's a complete word. And so I'm not sure what in and viz. Viz is actually to see, like visual. In is can be not seen. Isn't that kind of interesting? In also means not. So not seen can be. Does that help you out a little bit? Did you get that? So whenever you see a word, when you think of a word that is not really a word and you add the ible at the end, that should be added ible. Like invis, that's really not a word, so you add ible. But when we go into this word, let's do that one just a minute, okay? Because I got to explain another rule. Breakable, able. See, break is actually a word. Break is actually a word. So it can be broken. So if we do breakable, that means this word can be sit by itself. But if you add ible, it really doesn't sit by itself. All right, so let's get into this one right here, likable. So if I do this, lick, but it's not lick, it's like. So like is usually with an E. And so in this case, we're going to take out the E and we're going to add a bowl. Like a bowl. Everybody see that? So if there's an E at the end, sometimes you have to drop that E and make it, and then add the able. All right? So let's try another ible. Possible. So we go P-O-S-S, not really a word. But if we add the ible to it, it becomes a complete word. It can be. Possible is can be. It can be done. Okay? I wonder what P-O-S-S means. I don't know if you can find that out, but that would be interesting to find out. You find that out. All right? Okay, let's do two more words, and I think I'm going to let you go on this, because this is pretty good. Now, this one's going to be an interesting one. Remember how I said most of the time you take out the E? Well, here's a tricky word. Manage a bowl. We have to add in that E. Isn't that interesting? Any questions? Okay, now think of this. I want you to think of this. I like I like manna. It's got a different sound in there, so maybe that has something to do with it. Now we'll have to check that out. That'd be interesting to find out if that is the reason why. Because with that E, okay, I can't see any other ones in here that have an E that we have to keep in there. Let's do one more ible word. Collapsible. Collapsible. Okay? Collapsible. Collapse has an E at the end also. So would this work with that, the rule I gave you with the word doesn't really work? No, it wouldn't. So that's why we got to listen to it also. It's not collapsible, it's collapsible. Collapsible. So we got to get those sounds correct as we are saying these words so we can make sure that we understand that they are right. But overall, as a general rule, you can say that the ible, the words don't usually make sense. And on the able or able, they usually do. All right? But there are a couple of oddballs. Don't put it here. A couple of oddballs in there. All right? So now we have these words. Now what I need you to do is I need you to finish all the rest of these words, write them out, find out what POSS means, okay? I'm interested. In fact, see if you can find out what some of these other ones mean also. Like I did, not seen, can be not seen. All right, something like that. Can be broken, can be liked, can be managed. See how that word comes at the beginning, even though we put it at the end? All right. Okay, go ahead and finish these words, get them all written out. And it's been a pleasure teaching you. I hope you've learned a lot from these videos. If you ever need, you can always come back and watch them again anytime you want. They'll always be around. All right? Okay. Have a good week.